a very short slide deck. It's only 7 slides to talk about a concept that needs to be separated from everything else, and that's conspicuous consumption. Conspicuous consumption was popularized by a gentleman by the name of Veblen, and his definition of it is, in its simplest form, it can be described as an individual's purchases of products in an attempt to display accumulated wealth and social status. Some of us would call it showing off. Some products, like the shoes that you see here from Louis Vuitton, have something conspicuous about them that identify them as being part of that brand. Nike's swoosh, Louis Vuitton's red soles. And because that is a conspicuous aspect of the product, it is something that people want to make sure that you get to see. So, the question becomes, would you buy a Nike clothes that doesn't have the swoosh, or would you buy a pair of Louis Vuittons that don't have the iconic red soles? And so somewhere in the last 20 years or so, we've become very conspicuous. Sean John is one of the folks who is notorious for having his name all over his clothing. And if you look in any classroom or any company, if you work somewhere or you go to school somewhere, all you have to do is take a look around, and you're going to see that people are carrying things that have a logo or a label on them because they want to be conspicuous in the types of things that they buy. One of the reasons that Stephen Jobs came up with the white phone and the white headset, the headphones, is because he wanted people to be conspicuous in the nature that they were wearing white instead of the traditional black that all of the other phone companies have. And this becomes a very iconic aspect of all of the Apple products, is that they, the headphones are white and the phones oftentimes are a pale color. You can always tell a real Rolex watch because it never ticks. It has a continuous movement to it, but also because it has this great crown at the top of all Rolex watches, which indicates that it is in fact a real Rolex watch. So companies that have this iconic, conspicuous part of their product need to make sure that they keep it, because that's a lot of times why people will buy it, so they can show off and say, I have a Mercedes-Benz, or I have an iPhone, or I have a pair of Oakley glasses. Unlike some of the other concepts that we'll study this semester in this class, conspicuous consumption needs to be seen by others to have value. So all products are not all products are subject to the principle, and what we get from that is we get the adoration of other people and some type of social status. But again, it has to be seeable in order for us to feel like we're getting conspicuous consumption out of it. Social currency and some of the topics you're learning about in the book, they're not the same. You don't necessarily have to be seen. It doesn't have to be heard. It has to be something that can be seen.